And welcome back to Chapter 8X of Thracia 776. I initially actually had this part already recorded, but I have to redo it because when I tried splitting the files up, it wasn't pretty. Audio was desynced and it was overlapping with each other everywhere. It was just a horrible abomination. I had to scrap the whole thing and start all over again. Kind of ticked me off. Anyway, where we left off, not much left to do. A few chests to open, some enemies to take out, I need to trap a hunter in a corner, and there's the boss I have to deal with. Though that boss is basically like 50% of what makes this chapter difficult. Actually, probably more like 80%? Yeah, 80%. In case you're wondering why I had Havan attack this guy with a hand axe, it was mostly because I know there are more ranged people in the room ahead, and I wanted him to be able to attack them. But it was all basically for nothing, because I had Leaf wait right in front of him, and Leaf is most definitely not equipped with a ranged weapon. Whoopsie daisies. Now that I think about it, I believe this is actually the very first chapter since Chapter 2 that actually doesn't have any reinforcement. And I don't think the second chapter after this has any reinforcements either. But, usually there's always something to come up. I mean, there's even a staircase in the room on the left, which is where enemies would normally respawn. If there wasn't like an open hallway like in the dungeon, they would appear on a staircase tile. Isn't that weird? It's also where they escape, and I'm assuming it's there so that thief can get away, but then again, there really wasn't any purpose to that thief either. It never takes anything. So, who the hell knows what's going on here? Not me, that is. And here is my stupidity rewarding me for not having an actual ranged unit in range of other ranged units. So all these guys just continue to attack Leaf. Although, I does suppose this allows me to have a good opportunity to attack them once it's my turn, but yeah, kind of a waste of resources there. And I also strive to make a big boo-boo here by accidentally leaving Asphalt in range of the hunter I was trying to trap, meaning that, well, he'll probably get killed when he tries to attack Asphalt. But thankfully, there's another hunter there that I was able to trap in a corner this time, which means I only needed 2 people, not 3. Hooray! I don't think I've pointed this out, but when you're using magic swords, hand axes, javelins, or bows, if you miss, it still actually uses a use of the weapon, and with tomes as well. But that isn't the case with melee weapons like swords, axes, and lances. It's kind of neat, I guess, but this was dropped in later games. You actually have to hit someone for a use to count. And there we see our first successful activation of Shiva's Sun Sword skill, restoring his HP by the amount of damage he dealt. And he gets a pretty cool level up out of killing that guy. Good job. And just like that, there are only 4 enemies left in this chapter. Soon to only be 2. Really, this is mostly a simple chapter. The only really difficult parts are the very beginning where you get posed into a one-on-one situation, and the very end when you have to take on Gomez. But, man, how many times have I referenced how much of an insane deal it is to take on Gomez? Trust me, you'll see why. You will. I'm not exaggerating this. This is where I realized that I effed up when I was playing this chapter. But, thankfully, I did know that there was another hunter that I could trap, but this still was like, oh man, how the heck did I do that? I'm just... Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I almost hit the reset button out of reflex, but then I saw this hunter move himself into a corner. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Oh, this is going to be so fun. So I'm going to be opening the rest of the chests before I deal with this guy, so I'm just going to speed ahead until I get to that point. See you back in a bit. So now we come to the ultimate cheese ability in the game. So you see, thieves can't just take items from enemies, they can also give them items or weapons. And when you do that, it also gives you experience. Yeah. So, if you want, you can just have a thief repeatedly give and take, say, a vulnerary to an enemy and gain infinite experience. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm having Laura hold all my scrolls, and I'm just going to have her trade back and forth a lockpick on that hunter until she hits level 20. I mean, it's not going to make her good. This is what she turned out to be. I mean, she still only has, like, 5 strength. She only got 1 point of build in the entire thing. I'm never really going to use her as a combat unit. I just did this so she would die less often, basically. I got much better results when I did this with Leafus in the next chapter, and boy am I going to have fun stealing items from enemies all day with him. And when I get the last thief, it gets even better. Also, now that Laura is faster than the boss, I can have her steal the lockpick that he's holding, which is always nice. Lockpicks are kind of hard to come by in this game. Thieves tend to leave chapters quickly, and sometimes they're not even always holding them. But I can get this one here, and it'll hold me over for quite a while. But now we have to deal with it. Let's go take on Gomez. Brace yourself. This is not going to look pretty. Just look at that. Look at that. 22 defense, 72 evade, 14 speed, 46 health, 18 strength, ranged and close range weapons. This is freaking insane for what is essentially the 8th and a half chapter of the game. Like I said, my first time playing through this, I didn't have Asphalt with me. Literally the only thing I could do to hurt this guy was to do a critical hit with Leaf using a kill edge, and that did 10 damage against this guy. Not to mention, Gomez was double attacking him because his speed was so low, and he killed him in 2 hits. This guy is just insane. I mean, pretty much the only way you can take this guy out with this point in the game is to use Asphalt and Graph Caliber, have him just attack him, and then rescue him out of the way and continue to attack until you get enough hits that he dies. That's it. Unless you arena abused someone to a high enough level, I can't think of any other way you would kill this guy. This is just freaking insane. A lot of people who've played this game say that Gomez is probably in the top 3 hardest bosses in the Fire Emblem verse. Like, this guy is almost something you would see in like the final 2 chapters of the game. Not even about a third of the way through, but I don't know what to say. This is just I don't know. I mean, what can I possibly say about this? This guy will pretty much kill Dagda in 1 round of combat. He's probably my strongest character at the time. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know. I mean, look, Asphalt with his Graph Caliber with a support from Leaf nearby, yeah, he hits hard, but he only has a 61% chance, and freaking Gomez will kill him in 1 hit on the counterattack. So I have to do this weird rescue chain to move him out of the way. Guys, I don't know what the world is anymore. Thank goodness this guy only has 3 magic, because, I don't know, later in the game you actually encounter tiles that increase your magic as well as your defense, and if this guy was standing on one of those, I'm gonna say he would be the hardest boss in the Fire Emblem verse, but his magic defense is crap, so at least Asphalt can take this guy out, but you kind of have to use Graph Caliber because anything else is just not gonna hit this guy. I mean, even Graph Caliber has trouble hitting this guy. And funnily enough, they even bothered to program capture dialogue for this guy if you capture him and release him. Yeah, like you're gonna have someone with 20 build that can somehow manage to capture this guy and not get instantly killed in the counterattack. I can see why Marty was so afraid to go against this guy. I don't blame him. Anyway, there's not really much to watch here, so let's just cut to the end of this bull crap. Holy crap, that actually worked. I'm not sorry, Gomez. You're just too much of a pain to deal with. That seems impressive, but remember that Leaf is holding every single Crusader scroll I have up to this point, so pretty much anyone will get good level ups with that. Except for, like, you know, Marty, because Marty is terrible. I feel sorry for Dagda. Why can't the people get proper jobs? This barren land can't be worked. Probably most of those people are descendants of Thracian peasants. They were abandoned as children and had no choice but to grow up to be bandits. They wouldn't have been able to survive otherwise. What? Nonsense! What parents would abandon their own children? Oh? You were traveling, yet you don't know the pain of starvation? Where did your food come from when you were running from the Empire? Food? I don't know, but my hunger was always satisfied. I see you were blessed with fine servants, but you don't understand the suffering of the people. Southern Thracia is covered with steep mountains. The soil is dry and the climate is harsh. The farmers work day and night, but still they aren't able to feed themselves. Either they all starve, or they sacrifice a few to let the others survive. That is the truth, Lord Leaf. Can't they import food from other countries? Northern Thracia didn't have a shortage in food at all. Northern Thracia has placed tariffs on the south. They are especially strict about agricultural trade. What did they do that for? The immediate reason lies in the war that happened 100 years ago. But the situation continues to this day because the north and south don't try to understand each other. Also, Northern Thracian nobles are known to be especially greedy. I've always been told that Thracia was a cruel militant empire, but they have their own troubles. Why? Why do they keep on hating each other? They used to be one unified kingdom. That is the tragedy that lies behind the two sacred spheres, the Gaibog and the Gungnir. People can become both wise and foolish depending on their leader. Lord Leaf, you have much to learn to be able to lead your country to a bright future. You must not make the same mistake as your father. Wow, that was pretty dark. Anyway, guys, I'll see you back with Chapter 9. This has been ModelOmega, and please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. See you later.